Hello, I'm Rabbi Paul Arberman from Temple Beth David. The Torah reading this week begins with God commanding or asking for a census of the Israelites to be taken. I believe there's a lesson in it about the census going on in America today. I'll get to it in a moment. In Parshat Bamidbar, this week's Torah reading, the chieftains of the 12 tribes were told that they needed to stand with Moses as the men went by one to be counted in the census. So the chieftains had to stand there and wait for each person to pass by. The Yalkut Reuveni, it's a midrash, sort of a set of stories from a Kabbalistic collection of commentaries on the Torah that comes from Prague. It was published at the end of the 17th century. Says, the chieftains of Israel were made the supervisors of the census because they were the ones who had been assigned by the Egyptians to be the taskmasters over the Israelites in Egypt. They were the ones who gave the orders. They were the ones who made sure that the daily quotas were met. They were the ones who, under orders, of course, from Pharaoh, had to make the people work harder and harder to produce as much as they could for Pharaoh. So why were they required to be there to take the census? So that when the people came forward one by one, there would be one brief moment when they looked at each other face to face, the former slaves and the former taskmasters. They looked at each other for that brief moment, and the ex-slaves proudly announced their names, and the ex-taskmaster quietly registered the name. The ex-slave declared, "I have a name, I'm a person. I'm not just this thing that produces bricks. I'm a human being." And the ex-taskmaster had to sort of acknowledge that this was now a free person with a name, with dignity. I imagine them sort of facing each other one by one as they did, with or without those words, with some reconciliation happening. And perhaps that was the purpose of these chieftains being required to be there for the census. If the taskmasters or the slaves had carried over their anger, they could never have become one united people. And then after this encounter, they can put it behind them, and they are ready to become a people united, ready to face challenges. Maybe the census going on in America today can remind us that in these troubling times, that we're all Americans. Each one of us counts, even if we don't always or often agree with each other. When you answer the census, you become part of we the people. Stay healthy, stay Jewish. See you next time.